This is David Wheaton. The following is a short take from the Christian Worldview radio program. You can hear the full program at thechristianworldview.org. Tell us about what you're seeing with regard to Brit card over there.
Very interestingly, actually going back to Tony Blair, who I mentioned earlier, the former Prime Minister of the UK. This is actually his idea. The premise behind it is that the government are feeling pressure to do something about immigration. And so they are claiming that this would be a way of ensuring that those who apply for jobs in the UK have a right to work in the United Kingdom. That's the premise, right? The problem with that is that everybody who applies for a job in the UK already needs to prove their right to work, and they do so without this card. You simply show the paperwork that you have the right to work there, that you have visas. So this is not doing that. That's what they're telling people that it's doing. But ultimately what it's doing is something very different. What it is doing is it's radically expanding government surveillance over the population. It's making a massive centralized database for personal data. It allows the government to enact all kinds of subtle punitive measures, whether they will, we can't say that that is definitely what they will do, but it creates the potential for them to do that, where the government can create something of, let's say, like a social credit system could be enacted through this. If it's involved in banking, you could have debanking happening very easily. It also is just something that has absolutely no discernible benefit to the population. There's not a single person here that I know of that actually wants this or thinks this is a good idea, because it's not solving the problem it's claiming to solve. Instead, it's going to be massively expensive. It's going to be massively overblown, and then it's going to give the government untold rights over the lives of normal civilians. So it really is a terrible idea. And the part of the way I see it anyway is Keir Starmer, and in general a lot of left-wing governments operate in the same way. They do view themselves as God. They think that they are in charge of the world and that they have essentially unlimited rights over the populace. And so they can just enact things like this for no reason other than the fact that they want to do it. It's a big movement against a limited government, and it gives government control over much more than they would otherwise have. And I think it feeds into that delusion. And sadly with these things, once they come in, they're very hard to get rid of as well. So even if we were to get in a more conservative government at some point in the future, this would be a difficult thing to not have at that point. So there's lots of reasons to be extremely concerned about it. I'm certainly strongly opposed to it, as I think are pretty much all decent people in the UK.
This has been a short take from the Christian Worldview radio program. To hear the full program and connect with this nonprofit radio ministry, go to thechristianworldview.org. I'm David Wheaton.